And welcome back to Chuck's Tuesday Tips. Today we're gonna throw a little javelina together. We've already done the boring prep part, so all we have to do is the mounting part. I've sewed up all my holes, thinned out everything, but I haven't put my ears in yet, so we'll start doing that. Oh crap, I forgot one hole. What do I do, JJ? Cut my wrist?
Yeah.
Oh. Let me put the ears in and we'll sew the hole up. It's all JJ's fault. Put a little bit of glue in like I showed on other videos in the ear to rub it up all around to make sure it gets all up into the tips of the ears. In case any of the glue wants to wipe off of our ear liners. Now these, unlike the bears, are easy to tell which side is which side because of the apex flap. I'm going to slide these bad boys in and line them up. Superior ear liners. Heather Frazier, my teacher's daughter, makes my ear liners. You can order them direct from her or from Research. So we're going to put all the way around the staples and then two in the back here. Got our little ear card out of Coca-Cola. This is our third Javalina we've done. I would say today that wouldn't be exactly true, but the last day and a half. This is why we use Mike's forms, because they mount up so easy. Glue up the other ear liner. Now remember, there's a leading edge of the ear, so you get that lined up. See, this is not aligned, so we want to roll it over until it is lined up. We like to make sure everything touches nice and relaxed. So allegedly we don't get any drumming, which we usually don't. Folding this along the inside apex. It's a little bit different than when we do the deer because it's a lot smaller. So I'll staple it on the center line and then just put a couple staples over here. Now I gotta sew this hole real quick that I missed. I'm just gonna use a single thread because this is pretty thin. Just use a whip stitch on it. This particular hide was tanned by Heather's husband, aka Paul Bunyan. He's like 9 feet tall. Used to cut trees for a living, so I call him Paul Bunyan. But he doesn't have an ox. Okay. Really want to blame JJ for this hole, but he wasn't here yesterday. So it's my fault. Just gonna tie it off real quick. Bam, done. Okay. Back over to here. Reinvert our tape. Make our ear liners, our ear butts. We're going to do them again the same as we do everything. 4 little cones, but smaller than for the deer, because Javelinas don't have much of a butt. In fact, those are probably too big. I'll cut them down a little bit. Use some to make this one. Use some to make the other one. There. Make them all about the same size. Bring it to a point. I'm going to slide it up. You see that going in? Slide it up. Run it along right there. Bottom one goes on the other side of the apex. Like I said, there's not much to these. We don't have to cut a hole, dig a hole out of the mannequin either for the ear to fit in. There's no hole in the head of the pig when you skin it, so we don't need to carve out a hole to set our ears. I don't know why guys do that, but they do. Guess they think they need an anchor point. So we're just repeating the same thing over here. You can see the hair pattern falling in place. Same down here. We're going to push that. You can see the clay moving up in there, giving us a nice ear butt. I'm smoothing it around the back here with my fingers. Okay, that's done. Now we're going to set the eyes. The neat thing about pigs is they don't have a straight iris, so we don't have to worry about so much the level because they have a round iris. All we have to do is get them set the same. And again, I do everything pretty much the same. Put a little bit in here and then a little bit smooth to the back of the glass. Same as everything. I just need something easier to wipe. Our trusty bucket. And again, we always do our lids the same. 2 muscles. Start on our weak side. Around the bottom to the back corner. Same over here. In our upper. On the glass, pressing it onto the glass, feathering it back in, and again not blending this at all because we don't want to lose our transition. Now, can you show them while I do this the nostril? I cut out the nostrils, the shape, just following the shape of the mark in the mannequin. I'm going to put a little smoothing clay on here. Okay, and that's basically it. If you want to add some brow detail, make it look pissed, you can kind of celebrate with that a little bit. Give them a snarl or something, just for fun, but you don't have to. You know, put a little bit here for our lip corner. Now we'll put our glue on. The Javalina, I don't split down the back when I skin them because they don't have a heavy armor plate like the hogs do. And so you can turn them inside out pretty easy. Drop our skin straight on. I see the big old rip right here. Everything lined up. There's that eye. Can you see that eye in the camera?
Yeah.
Okay. Your brisket lined up. Your ear's kind of temporarily set. Okay, remember I put a little clay right here. Get that indexed. We'll put a couple pins just to keep our eyes from moving right now. Instead of using the big loop pins, I'm just using these big 1.5 inch pins because this is a smaller hide and we're not going to be pulling anything back when we sew because we're not sewing. But what we will be doing, the next step will be, oh man, I bent that with my bare hand. Okay, is lining up all of this. Remember the canine sheath? This is the canine sheath. Goes behind the canine. Right here on this little high spot. So you want to make sure that that's right there. What we're going to do is, I don't even bother using pins to pin all this stuff in. I like to just use clay to hold it down till it dries. That way you don't have to pull a bunch of pins. You can just knock the clay off and go. Plus a lot of times it makes everything smoother. Now you can see where everything indexes. See that hairline? Goes right there. Right there. Every time. These mannequins and mics are so nice. They almost, I like to say they mount themselves. You know. If you want to use brand X, take 3 days because it makes you feel better, you know, to mount one. Then that's up to you. But I don't know why you'd want to do that. So again, we're just going to go all the way around the mouth with this clay. Smooth it down to hold it in place while it dries. Oops, use some other tool. There we go. Need this tool. See how that's just shaping up all by itself. Doesn't even need much help. This mannequin is so accurate. That it just falls right into place. I'm going to cut these lips a little short. Wish I could blame that on JJ too, but I can't. These things were so freezer burned when they came in, we barely got them thawed out, skimmed out, even with ammonia water soaking them. Okay, so there's basically our mouth. Our nostrils, where he showed you where I cut them out, they just fell into place too. So now we're gonna this back. I have to really use my head here. I put this little washer widget on my stand, that way it holds itself up. Now they're called collar peccary or something like that. They got this collar on them. This one doesn't have that great of a collar. But again, we like to do the ears back, make them look pissed off. Now we just gotta pin up our eyes, temporarily of course, starting on this side. The pinning sequence is the same on all my mounts. We go 1/4 inch in front of the glass into the front corner. We'll do the other side, same. And we're going to find our back corner. Remember, we have a little gap between the clay, so we know where to set our pins. We set it right in that gap, right in the center. We do 2 in the back, but like I said, I jump from side to side just to maintain symmetry. So we put 1 right here. We're going to put 1 a little bit further back. Not quite as far back as we do on a deer. Okay, now we can shape our eye. Again, just like with the deer, sometimes we need to put a pin up here just to keep the lid from sagging down. Same on both sides. Looks like a big gooey mess right now. Oh man, all my tools are outside. I forgot. What I did is I just running my upper eyelid where we set that clay between the glass and the mannequin to make my eyelid, my upper brow. I need to find a paintbrush here. Clean up our eyes so you can see what's going on there. This is pretty wet, so I'm going to put my other 2 pins in right now, and then I'm going to let this suck up a little bit and come back and adjust it, because you don't want to do what they call pushing clay. You don't want to keep pushing clay around till you completely distort everything and ruin it. And then again, our last 2 pins, one goes in the front corner, bottom, and you can see it grab that lid and pull the tension on it. It's going to keep the tension on the lower lid while it dries. Come up over here, same. I usually line it up